Yo dudes, what's up? This is PlanetKeef, I'm Keef, and it's Christmas and it's episode 36 of the weekly vlog thing, yay! Monday, Mrs. Planet had asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I had seen something in Aldi, a cast iron cooking something that I would quite fancy, so I mentioned that. She said, okay, it'll be heavy, won't it? And Aldi's a long walk. I'm like, yeah, both those things. So she says, I'll give you the dosh and you go get it. All right, cool. I can, I can imagine I hadn't seen it on Christmas Day. I'll be all surprised, So, yeah, so I got there, and it's one of those things. In Aldi's middle aisle, they have, waist-high bins of stuff. And this particular item comes in two colours. And they seem to only have one of the colour that I wanted. And it was at the bottom of, the cage. You can see what's in it because it's wire. And all the others on top of it were the wrong colour. So I had to take all of those out to get to the one I wanted. That was fun. Tuesday, nothing happened, but on Wednesday, quite a lot did happen. The main thing, well, a political thing, there was a vote in Parliament on the government's Plan B for COVID-19, which, as far as I can tell now, mandates wearing masks in enclosed public spaces and, what else? Oh, stay at home, work from home. But not much else. So it's just perfect common sense, and it's probably what most people have been doing anyway. Backbench Tory MPs got themselves into a complete frazzle. There's somebody winding them up. Brexit hardman Steve Baker. He was one of the movers and shakers behind the Brexit Leave campaign. And now he's got it into his tiny little mind that we are somehow being oppressed by being made to wear masks and have vaccines. Oh, that's the other Plan B thing, is vaccine passports for big events, sports events, gigs and so on. Yeah, so perfectly sensible stuff. I have to say, I have almost no time for anti-vaxxers, unless you've got a serious, verifiable medical condition that prevents you getting the vaccine. I say, get the bloody vaccine. Yeah, twice and a booster. Anyway, back to the parliamentary vote. The bill has to be approved by Parliament, and it was, but round about 100 backbench Tories rebelled and voted against it because of, what Steve Baker's told them, basically. And yeah, so it only passed because Labour supported it, and the idea of Labour supporting the government when they're supposed to be the opposition, well, it's not automatic that you oppose everything the government says. In fact, this Labour opposition has really not done that very much. You wouldn't know that they were the opposition. Anyway, they supported this bill because it's the thing to do. It's a part of the thing to do. It's not enough and it's too late, as always. And so it's been suggested it's a lockdown by stealth because, if you tell people to stay at home, don't go out, but then you still let the venues, the pubs, the restaurants, cafes, continue operating, but now suddenly, whoosh, where's the customers? Staying at home, doing what they're told by the government. All right, and where's the kind of support that these businesses got last year? Not forthcoming because it's not an official lockdown, although it might become one. Very interesting. Thursday, we had the by-election to replace Owen Paterson in Shropshire North. He was the Conservative MP who had been found to have been taking large amounts of money from a couple of companies in exchange for political influence. And that isn't actually the biggest story on the planet. The big story is that PM Bozo tried to rewrite the rules that said that he'd broken the rules. If you understand me, just, move the goalposts, change the rules. He hasn't broken the rules, make it retrospective even. And that was basically just shocked everybody in the country, I think, including proper Tories, not the right-wing verging on fascist cabal that we have in the cabinet, but the ordinary MPs who still believe in small c compassionate conservatism. They were devastated really by that. And so were the people of North Shropshire who had, the Tories were attempting to foist a barrister from Birmingham on them. Somebody, a city boy, knows nothing about North Shropshire, which is largely agricultural, absolutely clueless, and they gave him a serious kicking. Okay, the result came out on Friday, but I'll tell you. Owen Paterson had a 23,000 majority, and that seat has been held by the Tories for 200 years, apart from 2 years when somebody else got in. 200 years of that. And the 23,000 majority evaporated, became a 6,000 majority for the Lib Dem candidate. So that was absolute massive swing away from the Tories. I'm not saying necessarily a swing to something, but it was away from the horrors of, the current Tory party and leadership. Also on Thursday, it was the final of Masterchef The Professionals, and it's been a really good season. 3 guys made it to the end, and honestly, I keep saying this, but any one of them could have won it. There's one guy who really annoyed me, but I've sort of got over it, because he would never smile. He was always very, very serious and very focused, and actually very, very talented chef. And he did start to try to remember that he should smile when he's on telly a bit later in the series. So they interviewed him before the cooking bit started, and he said he dreamt about the final, and they're like, "Oh yeah, what happened?" He said, "Dan won." And as it happened, Dan won. And Liam didn't help himself. He made a catastrophic pair of errors. They did langoustines for a starter. They'd been wrapped in cling film. There was a bit of cling film still clinging to one of the langoustines, and that would have been enough to knock him out. But also he'd left the intestinal thread in, which a top chef should not do. So there you go. He was in tears, a poor boy. So yeah, it was a really good series, that one. Sometimes it's boring and samey, but it depends. All right, on Friday we've got another major series coming to an end, which is Strictly Come Dancing. I don't think I've ever admitted that I love this show. I watch it really religiously, but I do, and I do. So one of the 3 finalists was AJ Odudu, who had injured her hamstring or something seriously and really couldn't walk, never mind dance. Despite spending the week trying to get better, it didn't happen, so she pulled out of the final. On Saturday, the Strictly Come Dancing final. So we had Rose and Giovanni, and we had John and Johannes. And these are both exceptional couples, and in not just that they're brilliant dancers, but Rose is completely deaf, and that to be able to dance to the standard that she does, when you can't hear the music, and apparently can't really feel it through the floor either, it's just, how on earth did that happen? I mean, she was fantastic. And John Thwaite and partner Johannes Radibe were the first male same-sex couple, which irritated the hell out of a lot of Daily Mail readers. Long may you be irritated. They were also sensational, and there was almost nothing in it. In fact, I don't know how the judges managed it. Well, they didn't, because it was a public vote, and we, the members of the public, we got 6 votes. So I voted 3 votes each for each finalist, because I couldn't call it. Anyway, that was brilliant, very uplifting. And what am I going to do with my Saturday evenings now, eh? On Sunday, we learned that legendary architect Richard Rogers, Lord Rogers of Riverside, had died at the age of 88. All through my career, he's been there as, like, not guiding light, but a very prominent architect. His first major project was the Pompidou Centre in Paris, followed by the Lloyd's Building in London, which is still there, gleaming in its stainless steel magnificence. Terminal 4, Airport, Madrid. Yeah, those words, different order. And many, many other spectacular buildings. He was an architect with humanity and vision, but it's a sad loss. And finally, for Sunday, somebody sent me a comment on my cooking channel, pointing me at a video that a young lad in America had made, a reaction video to my video of how to make a Christmas dinner from about 5 years ago. So that was quite interesting. He didn't do a lot of reacting. There was a lot of, raised eyebrows and things. And pigs in blankets. I never knew this until a few days ago. Americans think a pig in a blanket is a hot dog completely enclosed in pastry, so a bit like a sausage roll, but not really. Whereas, what we think a pig in a blanket is a little sausage wrapped in bacon. So there. You learn something every day. Anyway, that was my week. I hope you enjoyed hearing about it. I don't think I'll do a vlog next week because our son will probably be here, travel restrictions permitting. So I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope the New Year brings you everything you wish for, and for me as well. Ta-ra.